This song, I guess I can turn it down now. Who was calling me? See, this is why I have such a hard time doing videos, guys. Every time I go to record, there's some foolery. I am elated that I had only just started recording this video and I can hit pause, answer this, and then come back like, oh, ha, ha, see, here I am. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm back. Didn't even see I answered the phone. See? Magic. It just depends on how you look at it. So what the hell did I get on here from? Y'all, I had just... Full moons wear me out. No cap. Like, every full moon, I'm dead. Technically, every new moon. Oh, God. Just whenever something going on with this fucking moon, just... I need a nap. I need a coffin. Just let me hibernate. Do you call it hibernating? When it's a vampire in the coffin? I don't be vamping, but like, that's how this moon made me feel. Maybe because it's in Aries. I just feel tired. Oh, well, I guess that does make sense. So, all right. When the moon is dropping in a space, particularly full moon, it's releasing whatever needs to be released from the area. So in this case, it's anything in the house where Aries is, anything in your first house, and anything in the house where Mars is. All of that, purge. That's a root chakra purge at that. So any guilt, grief, anxiety, abandonment issues, all those like the lowest vibration emotions. My whole was in my low vibration emotions, but any of that icky shit, that's coming up. If you're a person that ain't done your shadow work, well, you likely aren't here looking at this video, but you're probably going to come across some people who are losing their shit and they don't know why. I remember I was in LA. LA's like glitz and glamour as far as I'm concerned, right? Despite the homeless people you have to step over for this. So I was driving around, not me driving because I can't drive. I'm like Daisy from The Great Gatsby. But I was riding along on a full moon night in Aries. And I'm like, all right, let's see what the fuck this is about. I was not disappointed. The crazies came out. There was a dude walking around in the choker mask. And he was just like, it was a slow walk. And I'm like, oh, hell no, this is crazy. But LA, baby, LA. So the full moon in Aries, the maniacs come out, the crazy come out. I was dealing with somebody else's feelings today. The person's feelings I was dealing with wasn't crazy. Let me see. I decided I'm gonna take my time through this. I wasn't getting on here today. I was dead, but I woke up from my nap, my intermediate nap. I always split my day into two parts because workaholic, right? I woke up and I was like, all right, let me wake myself up, take a shower, and I'm gonna start doing my video recordings. But when I went to go do it, self was like, nah, you gotta do the new moon and Aries video. Now the new moon is on Friday. What did I also notice about this? I said new. See, look at me. The full moon. What did I notice about the full moon? It's coming out on Friday the 29th, right? So it's the new Saw movie. And if you've been following me for a while, you know every time I see Saw, I'm like, bruh, the universe sends us all messages based on these transits. That even goes down to the release date for films. The film has a design meant to trigger specific people. When I see Saw or It, or when I see Squid Games come back out, I know they about to come. There's about to be some shit, some game. So as far as this Saw thing, the question is, I guess, what is the game? Saturn, although this is technically the devil, right? The accuser, the temptation. What bothered me this week, and a lot of this stuff I'm talking to nobody about, because it makes people uncomfortable. Who am I going to talk to about this? I can't wait to find somebody. It's not necessarily evil, which is crazy because it is evil, but the evil comes through the people and the conduit of the being it's in, because it's not even just human, it's just the service itself beings, right? But Saturn itself is just setting up the game. Saturn is like tempting you, like say you're an alcoholic, you're a recovering alcoholic, right? Saturn will have you detour on your way home and go across like every fucking bar, right? Live or die, make your choice. That's what the test is. So at the end of the day, when you come to that court, he can say that you had the opportunity to not do it. So he is not the evil itself. It's so much easier to say, devil made me do it. But no, it's the devil knows what you've done, and the devil knows what you are hiding in the shadow. If there is no shadow, if your shit is out there, then it's not like he can't do anything. Like, oh shit, well. But it's sort of kind of the same way them Illuminati people work. If you got a secret, that shit coming out, but if they ain't got nothing on you, they can't hit you. So, with that being said, when Saturn announces a new game, it's a test of self. Even when you think about the Saw movies, the live or die, make your choice was him saying, hey, I noticed you and you wasted your whole life on A, B, C, and D. So, since you want to waste your life, here's a task in alignment with what you have been neglecting. If you can overcome this task and show that you finally learned the lesson, you'll get the reward. If not, you'll be reincarnating back in this bitch. And that's literally that is what it is. It's just so crazy that it got put into a film form, and even crazier that I am here having this conversation with you guys about the fact that they are like and this is, I don't even know if it's purposeful as far as the people who are creating the films and stuff, although a lot of them are occultists. Some of this stuff is just organic. When you tap into daydream meditation, you are tapping into the collective unconscious, whether that's the higher collective unconscious or the lower one. So you're even getting a message from above or a message from below, or you're creating from ego, but you always know when you're making something from your own story or something. Like Harry Potter, that's definitely a collective unconscious one. Lord of the Rings, unconscious one. The movie Us, Jordan Peele, unconscious one. So, an example of something created from the ego would be like, let me think, what movie? Contagion. Something created from a situation that already happened, something that happened in somebody's life, just something that is specific to that person and empowering for that, like biographical films and stuff, but something that is uh, a hitter of us all, that touches us on an emotional level and we don't understand why. That's a film that is meant to trigger in some way, shape, or form. Man, my daughter was watching Matilda. I made a post like 2 years ago about the true like signaling of Matilda. Sorry, I'm not here all frizzy because I like whatever. The true symbolism behind Matilda. And it just didn't go how I wanted it to go. But I'm gonna have to really, I'm gonna get a t-shirt that says like, don't shoot the messenger or something. It's just to like remind me, baby, these messages are coming through you. You ain't make this shit happen. You were just telling what came through you. So Matilda is a Holocaust trigger movie. Notice how all the kids, now don't look at the main storyline with the parents or even Miss Honey and any of that shit, right? The focus you were looking at is the special school. The school where there's a woman in charge named the Trunchbull who has a closet that she puts kids in. Has a particular hatred towards any gifted children. Remember during the Holocaust, they would vet. So I guess they showed this in X-Men too. They would vet to push the gifts. They were looking for special children. Bottom line, they were looking for special kids. So the fact that nobody knows that if you were in the Holocaust, you're back now, doesn't make it like register that this movie is traumatizing as fuck to you. But somebody, I know somebody knows this one because Hitler's sister, her name was Angela. Angela was in charge of the boys' school. She was in charge of vetting the special Jewish children because they were looking for particular gifts through these children. Like they were looking for 11. They were looking for Magneto. Through trauma, you can push somebody's psychic gifts. Like I told y'all, I think the last video I did, I died a couple times. That might have something to do with my unique gifts now. But in that case, they were putting people through torturous situations, and they still do now, which is a whole another behind the scenes conversation. So just know that these movies, if you feel a draw to them or if there's something about them, there's stuff in there, wild stuff. So going back, I was picking up on somebody's like pain and sadness earlier. Like, whose energy was I picking up on? Because I feel like that person might come to this video. Whose energy am I picking up? It was just overwhelming sadness. Like, I couldn't even feel to put it in words, like why this person was sad per se. A sensitive man. While they were in their feelings per se, I felt like is the word out of luck? Is that that's not one word, it's a phrase. Somebody down on their luck. Didn't feel like they were seeing the outcome they expected for their life. Like they put in so much energy to something and it just like it was really like it wasn't like a mental break, but it was a breakdown. Like this person reached a breaking point, like, oh my God, like I tried everything. Like just what the fuck is this right now? And I guess it was so overwhelming for that person, like it just broke out and spilled to where I was. But no, this is a man that has like a hard shell, but inside they're very sensitive. Like they rarely let people pass their shell at all. So this person was having, I don't want to say financial issues, but it's just like not seeing the fruits of their labor. I don't want to particularly dig in for this person. I sent love earlier. I sent a lot of love because that was a horrible like feeling. Nobody should feel that like sad or that alone, really. So yeah, much love to that person. Hopefully they felt the energy I sent them. If I was able to feel them, technically they should have been able to feel me, right? These are the type of things that I am still figuring out. The North Node in Aries is activating all of our gifts. I was on gift punishment. If you have any planets in 12th, those are punishment planets, but you can earn those back. If you have planets in 8th, chances are you ain't getting those back this lifetime, player. If you have planets in 6th, you can only use those ones for the good of others. But when you have them in 12th, that's karmically like you got the watered down in order for you to get them fixed. And my Mars, which is ruled by Aries, is in 12th. So me getting my gifts back is learning how this is working. I really look forward to fully understanding my own capabilities. Like I do based on the chart, but I'm navigating how to understand them. Like y'all remember I was telling y'all on one of my Facebook posts, right? I was updating y'all on the chess game, the checkers game, the bad guys, the service to self, the kingdom of dark, right? Their plans for the winter and their attack thing. And I was explaining that. I would just sit in meditation and I was like, get the ideas coming through me. And I'm like, you can imagine me like popcorn, it would be the vibe. Like, this is some good shit. Like, it's not good shit, but technically, and damn it, because I got to be fair. In order to do this job, like when you're doing psychic stuff, if your emotions get involved, your channel's closed because it doesn't want source doesn't want you hurt by anything. When you go into the Akashic records, if there's anything that's traumatizing to you or starts to like mess with you, your psychic sense is cut off. So you have to be very open-minded. You have to be detached from stuff. So it might look like I'm an asshole sometimes when I'm talking about stuff and I'm so like, but they definitely put me through the ringer with initiation. Like I had to look at a lot of traffic and stuff and all that. And my feelings had to become very separate in order to understand what was going on here. So in this case, suicide. That is what they are aiming for. They would like a lot of suicides. They would like people who get upset about their money, depression, just all that dark stuff so they can have a harvest. Same time we having Thanksgiving, guess who they eating? Us. It's just like the Native American thing. Like they're bringing us stuff. They brought us holidays so that we could celebrate during their rituals. The Gregorian calendar is a setup. Those were their ritual days. That's the days they agreed to feed these deities to make sure that the people in power get to stay in power. Christmas is not Christmas. It is now known as Saturnalia. Valentine's Day was an orgy day known as Lupercalia. They used the sexual energy to feed the deities on the other side. The beings who decided they didn't want to hang out with God, so they have to find their own power source, which they use through the people who do have a connection. So I was explaining that to y'all, right? Next thing you know, I go back to my little YouTube because I hang out on YouTube. I always find cool stuff on there. The movie The Net goes by me. And I'm like, what is the movie The Net about? I have a vague feeling that this was a message. So at the same time that I can hear them, they can slightly hear me, but they don't know where I am, which is fine by me. But The Net, it's totally about a woman who came across some shit that she wasn't supposed to come across, and they wiped her, wiped the identity, wiped everything, put her on the FBI list, made her look crazy and everything. I'm like, well played. Well played, guys. I remember one time when I first noticed these signals. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was so love and light in the beginning. Like, we have to do something about this, right? I noticed I was getting a song and I didn't know what the song was, but it turns out it's Sucker for Pain. It was on the Suicide Squad soundtrack, but it starts off, I'll torture you, or some shit like that. And I'm like, bro, this is ridiculous to have to be playing telepathic. Because if you think about them, they can sense you thinking about them. So it's a weird thing. Movie reference for that, Doctor Sleep. Do not watch Doctor Sleep if you are sensitive to anything happening to children. Warning there. So let's get into the theme for the collective for the full moon in Aries. Ooh, so I'll be having like a small list of things I'm supposed to say to y'all when we get on here. Root chakra purge. That's where your sexual energy is, guys. So you might notice that flaring up also, along with all the other things. I found out that like it's important, imperative, because I've been teaching all about sexual stuff too. Sex is ruled by Aries, Mars, the inventor. Um, all of your pain, your guilt, and your stress is held in your root chakra, right? So during sex, if you are fucking or having rough sex, you are creating loose energy, the stuff that the vampires feed off of. If that's your gag, uh, it is what it is. But I just feel like you should know it's because you cannot take source energy directly to you. You have to get down a couple pegs in order for your heart to receive the energy that's coming out. Because the root chakra is the most potent source of the energy, guys. The fluids that come out of you during the act are actually the densification of the molecules in your soul, is what I got. Easy translation, like your nut is your soul juice, right? So, depending on what's coming out of there, you are either poisoning or you are producing anti-venom. And I'm going to actually make a post on this later because I find all of this cool. What got me about the anti-venom thing, right? Scorpio rules the sex organs and orgasms, right? That's the snake. So if orgasm is the, and I'm picturing like a snake, like spitting, like, oh, ski. That's your venom. That shit makes sense. So when you look at these charts, that means somebody has a match for your pain. Somebody has a match for the fuel that you need. And it's just the craziest shit. So I'm actually gonna write out the post on that because all of this stuff is a lot. There is information on the sex stuff, but it's scattered and I'm like being led through it. I guess that's a part of the Mars thing, but a lot of the rituals that were done here first for this energy were based upon sex. All of the rituals that I found in the books that I look at are based upon invoking or allowing your body to be used in order to get gifts. And these are the dark rituals. You don't have to do this as a regular person. You can just have sex with somebody that you love, which is the opposite energy. When you're making love, you are transmuting what's in that root chakra. Oh, I was like trying to figure out, because now I gotta be a sex scientist, right? Like, so all right, if somebody is trying to purge their vibration of the lowest parts, what would one have to do? Technically, during sex, the woman's womb opens and the energy gets pulled from her heart and it gets fed to the masculine or the penetrator's heart. The energy coming from the, I want to say phallus, whatever the inserting thing is, comes from their root. So that person is kind of pumping their, depending on what they're doing, either pumping their love or their pain into you for you to cook in your oven and then push back out of your heart so it shoots into theirs. That's the circuit of energy that is going there. But technically, if you were in a really long tantric session, you can transmute the pain between both of you guys and to burn it back into light energy. Or you can mud each other out and then drag yourselves lower. But you know, it's whatever you need depending on where you are in your journey. But since we're all here, it would appear we're trying to ascend. So I am going to focus on teaching sacred sex, sacred things like that. I mean, it sort of goes along with what has happened in my life and made me like I am. I might as well, right? So what is the theme for this full moon in Aries? What is the collective theme? I keep getting hot, and you know what's so funny? I keep like, oh my goodness, like what's going on? Passion, passion, and intuition. But the problem with this really is the cleanse. Didn't I just say that there was a root chakra purge, a root chakra cleanse? So this is the awareness of that cleansing. I gotta dig in further because what the fuck does that mean? So let me move my little stuff. I'll be geeking y'all. You just gotta pass the time with happiness. Don't let your thoughts take you over, because man, these humans can go, right? To think that we were once a part of a perfect existence and decided to come here because perfection was boring. Now look at us. All right, so I'm gonna pull from the Dark Goddess deck on this one. Can I have some clarification on what the theme for this full moon in Aries is for the collective? What is intuition and cleanse? Learn what you need to do in order to re-inspire yourself in this life, moving anything out of the way that is blocking you. What are you cleansing? It says abuse, being a victim of abuse, maybe even being a perpetrator of abuse could be here. Drama also comes up, clearing out any drama. And this is amazing because all of these things are linked to issues that would be stuck in the root chakra. The importance of the root chakra is your base, your pillar of stability, like your home foundation, right? In the female, all the pain that you have ever dealt with is actually still trapped in the vaginal walls. So if you wanted to purge or cleanse out this energy, my recommendation would be, oh my goodness, am I turning into Dr. Ruth? I would love to be her. I can't believe I'm talking about this. What will my father say? Oh, my recommendation would be, because it's in your walls, baby. That's like a deep, like you need an internal massage. So I would recommend laying on your stomach with a pillow underneath you and finding somebody that you really trust, really comfortable with, because this is an emotional experience. That's really like the delicacy of clearing out your root, because it's like emotional. This is like the feelings from the pit of like, for real. And this is not even just from this life. You'll be releasing stuff from the other lives, because the root is connected to the lowest experiences you've had here. So, pillow, stomach, back shots. But you need somebody who has stamina because they have to be able to ride the waves of the energy that is coming out of you. Now, I'm recommending back shots and a pillow because the overwhelm of the feelings that come up your chakras, because it's gonna, like I said, all the pain and stuff is gonna come up and be transmuted through your heart. When something like that hits your heart, I'm fairly sure that it's gonna sound like that, like your most reckless moans, yells, might cry. Like this is you letting out emotion. So you're like, and this is not somebody like beating down your walls because that would only like make it worse. This is like making love from the back. And it's probably good for the guy too because he has to get that stuff out of his root if he won't let you play in other areas. But doing that until the feeling subsides, I would imagine, depending on what type of life you've had, because this life is just a reiteration of others, then it might take a while. Just get somebody who can ride the wave of what is going to come out as you're purging. That's my tip for today. Let me know if anybody does it. So, loss is also being purged, and denial. These are all negative emotions. You are becoming, or everybody, because this is collective, whoever comes across this, it should resonate. You are becoming aware of what needs to be released in order for your power to be resparked, for your passion, for your desire to create, to come back to life. This is a ugly rebirth. It's ugly because you're gonna cry. So whatever I picked up today might have been multiple people, but it really felt like one person. But just know, if you are that person, you're not alone. Uh, Denial, loss, drama, abuse, the things that you didn't even notice happen to you, any victimhood, just any leftover feelings are coming up. So you can look at them because they were blocking you from being who you needed to be. So what energy needs to be embraced during this transition? Because this feels like a transition. You got to make room, baby. When I'm feeling, suddenly I felt very, very maternal. You got to make room, baby. I feel like I need to rub some nice face. Like, oh my goodness, I am so sorry you're going through this, my love. People are shitty, especially when they know you have a good heart. And your good heart doesn't always allow you to see the intentions of others, especially when they are so, so good at wearing masks. But understand that they wear those masks because they need them. You don't, or you didn't have to wear a mask, or you chose not to wear a mask because there was something beautiful underneath. There's nothing beautiful for these people underneath. That's all fake. And you needed to see that because you can't build on fake at all going forward. So what energy do you need to embrace for this transition? What energy do you need to embrace for this transition? What do you love when it's like the most simple answer? Strength. It was very much be strong. You are not alone. But there's an angel there too. Oh, your angels are with you. And I'm actually no, that made me just feel like, what does your guide, what do your guides want you to know? There's an angel there. And all of this stuff is in alignment with a contract. It seems like you were stuck. Whoever's seeing this, you were stuck. Look at it. Stuck, but you were stuck because you didn't know there were enemies around you. The universe did not want you to move forward with these enemies. The universe wanted you to feel like something was wrong. Something was bothering you. Something's been on your mind for months, like something is off and you couldn't figure out what it is. And it's all been revealed to you so that you can do what you need to fucking do to get it handled. It sucks right now, but at least now you know what's been going on, right? You know what's been going on and you can fix it one day at a time. You are not down. You built yourself up from nothing before. You can do it again. It seems like a lot of work because you put in a lot of work, but guess what? You'll be piggybacking on the work you've already done, on the skills that you already attained. No one can take your knowledge. They can take your money. They can take your house. They can try to take your pride. They can try to take your clothes. They can try to take everything. They can strip you, right? Can't get what's up here. Can't get the skills that you have built. And as long as you have those skills, you will always be able to start over again. No one can take that from you, baby. So your stuckness is now about to be done. You're not going to be stuck anymore. The idea of being stuck is going to drive you crazy. This is going to make you want to move. You're getting your fuel back. You're getting your life, okay, in your swag. Well, after this, that's what this moon is giving you. Your swag back. The ability to push back this indecision to what? The sun. Victory. Also goes with this angel of strength, because that's the Leo card. The sun. Door to value. Rest and rejuvenation, because you weren't even really able to rest before. Something was bothering you. Something was keeping you up at night. And it was God trying to tell you something. God trying to say somebody around you ain't right. Trying to let you know, hey, somebody taking your money. Somebody's messing with your stuff. Like there's several things going on in the background. The people around you ain't all 100. Some squares up in your circle. Some snakes. There they go. There's people around you that weren't there for you. That aren't there for you. So with that being said, peace is at the end. Getting everything you want. You weren't even fully satisfied with everything you had at that moment, and it was for a reason. It's because some of the people that you had around you weren't supposed to be there with you enjoying it. Now, when you get your shit back, you'll appreciate it a bit more, right? But you'll also have it with the right people. There won't be that feeling of anxiety. And this is all a part. Look at your Saturn, whatever your Saturn is. This is all a part of that coming together. Because it's contract. You were being pushed to finally let go of the karmic contracts, is what I'm getting here. You were holding on to stuff too long. Things you didn't want to let go of. Too loyal for your own good. Too loyal for your own good. So, with that being said, what is this making room for? Because this is the root chakra. This is passion. It's that creation. But I'm going to use the maps. I love this one because it gives me a direction. Like, where are we going? Where are we heading? Where is this energy pivoting us to? Right? So, where is the fuel? Find this full moon. Where is this fuel? All of this is dark, just dark. Somebody could be sitting in a dark room. So, better times, first and foremost. Gentle Gardener came up. This goes along with that rest. Just like, imagine you had been on choppy waves, now you're about to be smooth sailing. Somebody is coming along to assist you on your journey. You already have guides and stuff that are assisting you, but it's going to be like a physical person, a mentor, somebody in your life who's going to be able to assist you through this journey. And it's going to take some time, but it's something you've been wishing for. It's wish fulfillment. And once again, this contract comes up. So the contract is in alignment with what you wished for before you got here. All of this other stuff before this moment that I'm getting, and this goes with that North Node in Aries. I don't have to say that so much during the next 12 months that it's still going. But you asked for certain stuff before you got here, right? You had old debts that you owed to people here. So in this life, money you were giving out, people you were hanging with, all that sort of stuff, that had to do with the old contracts for people that you owed stuff. Now that you have paid back those people over what they deserved, more than, you are seeing the truth of their character so you can let them go. You paid your debt. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. Moving forward. The people coming in, particularly the first person that's going to be your leader, your mentor that helps you change your vibration, is leading you to your soul tribe. The people that you are actually meant to be around, to grow with. The other people weren't to grow with. They were to show you reflections of who you used to be, the people you used to match with, and who you would become if you did not choose to grow. Could even very possibly be showing you why you decided to change your path in this life. This is about your South Node versus your North Node also. Who you used to be and who you want to be. This is a make or break time. it just really seems like they didn't give you a option to go back. All the doors were closed. If you were thinking about staying stagnant or thinking about not moving forward and just being fine with what you had, that option was just taken from you. In this this full moon in Aries is definitely going to sear it. Myself. But you know when is it cauterize? I think it's cauterize when somebody has a cut and they have to burn it closed. You weren't moving. You weren't doing what needed to be done. So they had to burn the bridges. Bridges had to be burned. So I'm like, this is a specific collective message. But several people could be doing this at one time. These are hive messages. It's coming from a particular group of people, and it has something to do with whatever my chart is channeling. Somebody will pop up on this and let me know. So what does the collective need to focus on for self-care during this time? Dance, and that makes perfect. Yes, I love this shit. So dance, right? Speaking of Lupercalia and Saturnalia, before they got completely out of freaking hand with these rituals, the rituals were originally just orgies, guys. Drink some wine, everybody help each other out. And that was it. It was energy. You can just see an example of this sort of kind of in the movie Midsummer, the dancing. If you recall, there was a ritual, if you've seen that movie in there, where all the girls had to dance until one was left. That was because in order to pull in the spirits in the beginning during these rituals, you had to open your root chakra and make a big enough portal of energy. Have you ever seen like, oh my goodness, have you ever seen the like lesbian orgies where all the girls go around in like a loop or a circle where they're all around each other like this, like a pentagram and shit? Or might not be a pentagram, hexagram, hexagon. Either way, they were making an energy center. At least that's what they used to do back in the day. Because to get the energy out of your root, you have to make it move. Dancing. Even when you see like pictures now, when they show like old witch covens and stuff, you'll see them dancing at night naked. But it's because they were moving their sexual energy in order to let the spirit flow through them. And then in exchange for allowing the use of your body for that night, you would get a good harvest, or you'd earn a child, or you'd have money, or you get a new position, just anything to let the spirits on the outside get a chance to live for that particular night. In this case, this is about moving and shaking out that stagnant energy. If you look up anything on the root chakra, it'll say, for your root, please dance. Right next to that, check in with your womb, because that is also down there near the root. The root, the root, right? If you don't have a womb, if you got a vagina, work on your anal area. Give it some tenderness. Like guys really need to pay attention to their area. Besides the fact that it, like your G spot is in there, there's a whole pleasure center that you could very much be missing. Just because of the connotations here. Don't short yourself on fun. But it requires some TLC, some release, some massage. This is about making yourself feel okay again. In general, anything blocking you from being okay. Because if your root is messed up, the rest of your chakras are thrown off, because the root is the base center that connects you to your animal experience, the fight or flight thing. So if your root is messed up, you walk around looking crazy all the time. You don't trust nobody, you don't trust nothing. Because your root has been severed. Your emotional foundation is messed up. Something happened at your core. Dance it out. Shake it out. Rub it out. Love yourself if you don't have a partner, right? Till your partner comes. I feel like, and I did just get a synchronicity this week. Masturbation actually accidentally pulls your partner. And if you are focused on meeting or loving somebody, just think about like what you would want to feel like during that act. You don't even have to picture a person. Just think about what it would feel like to be loved in the way you want to be loved. Love yourself in that way. Now, it'll naturally start magnetizing that energy to you, because once again, that shit is going to shoot up through the heart. And the heart is the battery, the biggest energy center that sends out a signature. Think about Care Bears. You know how they're all like Yeah, guys, let's stand in a row and shoot our love at the enemy. You are shooting your love out into the universe with the goal of magnetizing your aura so that you pull in your person or the next person you're supposed to meet in this journey. I'd like to say everybody's person, but like, because who wants to like a high body count? I mean, if you do, life happens or whatever, but it just is a lot. Once you find out about this sexual energy stuff, do you know how much stuff you got to do to clean that up? Like you walk around depressed and you don't even know why. You don't just feel like yourself. It's because like 20 other people are pulling on your root chakra or have a cord in your stuff. You got to cut the cords out. You got to go bathe, get you a healer, clean all that stuff up. That would be great for this full moon in Aries. Self, take care of self. So I think I done talked my head off, y'all. Wore myself out. I think I said everything I need to say. Oh, message from your guys. I'm like, hold on, there's something I'm missing here. Because I pulled a card, strength. It was a message from guides. What deck shall I use for this? The Akashic Tarot? Okay. I'm starting to need some new decks. I'm getting bored with these. I started thinking about making my own. I think the universe is leading me here. Like, could you imagine what my mind would come up for a fucking deck? I'd have some crazy decks. I would love that. I think I'm going to start by getting myself some index cards for me so I can make my own and then use them in a couple of these reads. Then we'll go from there. The sky's the limit. I feel very open to the future possibilities. I don't know why. Like I've been myself outside of that energy that I felt earlier. I've been really excited. Like, I don't know what it is. Not exactly. Because they like to surprise me. I can't know all my stuff where I just be like all the time. But something amazing is happening. Like it makes my heart flutter. I don't know what it is, but I like see I just get so what's the message that was meant to go along with the strength part? Or along with the strength part. Yeah, no, it's transition again. So boom, boom, boom. So for the extra. Guess that's why it's the brand. Two worlds. Transitioning from one vibration to another. This is a timeline jump. Everything that you're seeing right now won't look like this next year. It won't look like this by the time the sun is in Libra, or even by the time the sun is in Aries next year. You are flipping from one life to another. Like it's going to be completely different for you. Like you're going to be like, yo, I can't believe my fucking life changed like this. This time last year I was such and such, and now I'm because you're finding your community. Just like I said, you are letting go of the people who weren't your soul tribe. And then there's something here about like finding your other half, finding your partner, finding the person you're going to build with. So the people you were letting go of, and this is it's crazy. Anybody who comes across this, letting go of everybody else is lining you up with the person you're supposed to be with. And if you're already in a relationship, it is knocking out the barriers in your relationship. Like there were other people in your shit, other people's opinions stopping you from love. Period, is what I'm feeling. That just made me mad. Like it was other people all in your love life telling you who you need to see or caring about who you're dating and all that. Just other people's opinions about what you needed in a relationship and all that sort of stuff were blocking you from seeing what you needed to see. It was too many people in your energy. And it could even be stuff from your childhood, just like your whole life, you collected other people's ideas of what you needed to be. And this needed to purge. So meeting your counterpart, the person that you were going to build with, this person, oh, and a female mentor, somebody who's going to help you unlock your ability to deliver messages. Very specific shit here, because you're a writer or you have an idea or a message or something that needs to get out. It's just like the contents of that message are in here. You haven't been able to even unlock it. You weren't allowed to lock it around the people you're around. They weren't ready for that jelly. So as everything is burning around you because you didn't notice, you were too busy looking forward. Understand it happens to the best of us. Little fires got started when you were looking forward, and now you're standing in an inferno. Let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn. That's what I got for that, because better things are coming. better things are coming. This is usually love and commitment. So it might have something to do with the person who's coming to mentor you. If you're female, remember in the beginning of this, I said there was energy of a male in tune with his feminine. That is the general vibe I get for the guys who are coming forward. They had to balance out their feminine shit to even get close to a female that was a good match for them before they were living off of like their wounded ideas of females. Setting the course. You're on the way. And then the last one, because you can't make this shit up, right? Setting the course. You're on the way. Everything else, look at this, two of these. Yeah, that shit burning around you, but you about to get the fuck out of there. Like, yeah, I know where this is going. Let me head out of here. Let me just jump from this timeline to the other one because that was the karmic trench anyway, baby. That was the end of it. You finished it. Congratulations. I'll see y'all soon.